15 must-sow vegetables and herbs in November. Hey there, friends! Welcome back to Earthly Delights, the cozy corner where plant lovers, home gardeners, and dreamers gather to keep life green, even when the world outside feels cold and quiet. If you're the kind of person who smiles when you see new shoots breaking through the soil, who finds peace watering a few pots before sunrise, or who believes that tending to plants is another way of tending to yourself, then you're in the right place. Now, most people think November is the time to pack up the tools and say goodbye to gardening until spring. But here's the truth. November isn't an ending, it's a secret beginning. While the air turns crisp and the days grow shorter, the soil still holds a quiet warmth, waiting for those who know where to look. This is the moment for gardeners who love to nurture life in stillness, who see potential in bare soil and beauty in patience. Today, I'll share 15 must-sow vegetables and herbs you can plant in November. Crops that don't just survive the chill, they thrive in it. So grab a warm drink, settle in, and let's rediscover the quiet magic of growing through the cold season. And hey, if you find inspiration here and want to keep your garden alive all year long, don't forget to subscribe to Earthly Delights, your little haven for green wisdom and soulful growing. Part 1, Rooted in Resilience. The vegetables that love the cold November is a month for quiet strength. And that's exactly what these vegetables embody. They don't fear the frost or the short days, they use them. These are the crops that dig deep, grow steady, and remind us that life doesn't stop when the temperature drops. So if you've ever wanted to see your garden stay alive through winter, these are your cold weather companions. 1. Spinach, the frost's favorite child. If you're looking for a plant that refuses to quit, even when the air turns sharp and icy, look no further than spinach. Spinach is the quiet hero of the November garden, the kind of green that thrives when others surrender. When most plants shiver in the cold, spinach simply shrugs and keeps growing, its deep green leaves collecting sweetness with every touch of frost. That's right. The colder it gets, the better it tastes. Imagine stepping outside on a crisp morning, the ground dusted with silver dew, and finding your spinach leaves glistening, ready to pick. You snip a few tender ones for your breakfast omelet, feeling that small thrill only gardeners know. The satisfaction of harvesting fresh food when the world around seems asleep. The best part? Spinach asks for almost nothing in return. A few seeds, loose soil, a little water, and patience. You can grow it in a garden bed, in pots on your patio, or even indoors by a sunny window. Within a few short weeks, you'll have baby greens full of life and flavor. For those of you who find calm in caring for plants, who see gardening as therapy more than work, spinach is your loyal companion. It reminds us that growth doesn't have to be loud to be powerful, and that even in the coldest seasons, life quietly continues to bloom. 2. Garlic, the sleeping giant beneath the soil. Garlic is the gardener's secret investment. A promise you plant today that rewards you months down the line. While most gardens are winding down in November, this humble bulb is just beginning its quiet journey underground. You tuck each clove into cool, soft soil, pointy side up, and cover it gently. Then you wait. Through the winter, it's sleep, but not idly. Hidden beneath the surface, roots are stretching, anchoring deep, preparing for the burst of life that spring will bring. What makes garlic special is its patience. It teaches us the art of trusting the unseen. For those of you who love to nurture slow, steady growth, garlic mirrors your spirit. It's not about instant results. It's about faith in the process. Come early summer, when you pull those firm, fragrant bulbs from the earth, you'll feel like you've unearthed buried treasure, the kind that rewards consistency and care. And here's the beauty. Garlic doesn't demand perfection. You don't need fancy soil or constant attention. Just a little space, a patch of sun, and your belief that small acts today will become abundance later. Whether you plant it in your backyard or a deep container on your balcony, garlic thrives quietly, reminding every gardener that even in stillness, growth is happening. 3. Radish, the instant gratification crop. If patience isn't your strong suit, radishes might just become your new favorite plant. They're the quick thinkers of the vegetable world, bold, fast, and full of color. You sow the seeds in November, and before you've even had time to get bored waiting, little green tops begin to appear. Within just 3 to 4 weeks, you're pulling up crisp, ruby red bulbs that crunch with freshness. It's like nature's way of saying, see, not everything worth having takes forever. For gardeners who crave small victories, those moments that remind you why you fell in love with growing things, radishes deliver joy on repeat. They love the cool air, thrive in short daylight, and grow beautifully between slower crops like carrots or kale. Their shallow roots make them perfect for containers too. So even if you only have a tiny balcony or windowsill, you can still enjoy their charm. And the flavor, sharp, clean, slightly peppery, wakes up your taste buds just like their bright colors wake up your garden. Slice them over salads, roast them for a mellow sweetness, or simply enjoy them straight from the soil. Radishes remind us that growth doesn't always need time. Sometimes it just needs courage. For every gardener who's ever doubted their green thumb, these little roots are proof. If you plant something with care, life finds a way, fast and full of surprise. 4. Carrots. Lessons in patience and reward. Carrots are the quiet philosophers of the garden. Humble, hidden, and profoundly wise. When you sow their tiny seeds in November, you're not just planting a crop, you're practicing patience. For weeks, there's nothing to see. The surface looks still, almost empty. But beneath that layer of cool soil, a miracle is unfolding. Roots stretching slowly, quietly shaping themselves into something sweet and strong. There's something grounding about caring for carrots during the colder months. Maybe it's the stillness they invite, a reminder that some of life's best things grow unseen. For those of you who garden not just for food but for peace of mind, carrots are your perfect teachers. They thrive in calm consistency, loose soil, steady moisture, and time. No drama, no rush, just silent progress. And when the moment finally comes to pull one up, it's pure joy, that satisfying resistance followed by a snap. And there it is, your reward. A bright, crisp root bursting with earthy sweetness, like a hidden treasure you patiently waited for. Carrots don't ask for much, yet they give so much back. In a world that's always rushing, they remind us to slow down. So whether you're growing in a raised bed, a deep pot, or a patch by the fence, plant a few rows this November. They'll quietly teach you that good things truly take time, and they're always worth the wait. 5. Broad beans. The garden's winter alchemists. Broad beans, or fava beans as some call them, are the unsung heroes of the cold season. Quiet workers that give back more than they take. When you plant them in November, you're not just growing food, you're enriching your garden's future. Their roots have a magical gift. They pull nitrogen straight from the air and store it in the soil, feeding next season's plants naturally. It's like planting your own living fertilizer factory. For gardeners who love to create balance, to give as much as they receive, broad beans are a perfect choice. They teach the rhythm of reciprocity. Through winter, they grow steadily, their sturdy stems defying frost and their roots quietly transforming the earth beneath them. Even the cold winds can't dampen their spirit. Come spring, they burst with life, delicate white flowers that later turn into pods filled with hearty, flavorful beans. And here's the best part, they thrive with very little attention. Once they're in the ground, they simply get on with their work, quietly improving your soil while you sip tea by the window, watching the frost sparkle. When you finally harvest them, their taste is rich, earthy, and comforting, perfect for warming soups and stews. Broad beans remind us that strength isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, generous, and rooted deeply, just like the gardeners who plant them. Part 2, the green heart of the garden, leafy friends that keep giving. While roots work their quiet magic underground, the true vibrance of a November garden lives above the soil, in the greens that keep on giving. These are the plants that breathe color into the gray days of late autumn, offering fresh leaves, steady harvests, and daily reminders that life can still flourish in the chill. If your spirit craves renewal, these leafy companions will keep your garden and your heart alive. 6. Kale, the warrior green. Kale isn't just a plant, it's an attitude. It stands tall when the winds bite and the frost settles, a living symbol of endurance in the November garden. While many greens wilt at the first hint of cold, kale seems to draw strength from it, growing sturdier, sweeter, and more vibrant as temperatures drop. Every leaf tells a story of resilience, tough on the outside, full of life within. For those of you who see gardening as both therapy and triumph, kale mirrors your strength. It doesn't demand perfection. A bit of soil, some sunlight, and occasional care, and it will thrive. It forgives neglect, bounces back after storms, and keeps producing long after others have given up. Harvest from the outer leaves and let the heart continue growing. It's the ultimate lesson in sustainable giving. And the flavor. Cooler weather turns its bite into sweetness, perfect for soups, smoothies, or roasted chips. Imagine walking into your winter garden, brushing off a light frost and plucking a handful of crisp, dark leaves that promise nourishment and warmth. Kale belongs to gardeners who don't give up easily, the ones who find beauty in perseverance. It's more than food. It's a reminder that strength grows quietly, even through the hardest seasons. 7. Lettuce mixes your living salad bar. If you've ever dreamed of stepping outside and harvesting a handful of fresh greens for your meal, lettuce mixes are your perfect companion. They're the soft heartbeat of every fall garden, gentle, generous, and endlessly renewing. In November, while the world slows down, lettuce quietly flourishes, soaking up the cool air that keeps its leaves tender, mild, and beautifully crisp. These mixes, from butterhead to oak leaf to romaine, are perfect for gardeners who crave simplicity. You don't need rows or fancy setups. Just scatter seeds in a pot, a tray, or a raised bed, water lightly, and let nature handle the rest. Within a few short weeks, your garden becomes a lush carpet of greens that keeps giving, harvest after harvest. Snip what you need and the rest keeps growing back. The beautiful rhythm of cut and come again. For those of you with small spaces, sunny balcony, a kitchen windowsill, or even a few recycled containers, lettuce offers the joy of gardening without the overwhelm. There's something deeply comforting about watching new leaves unfurl each morning, reminding you that even in quieter months, renewal is always possible. Lettuce doesn't just feed your body, it soothes your mind. It's the plant for gentle souls, for those who love slow mornings, calm routines, and the simple pleasure of growing life right outside their door. 8. Mustard greens, the bold, spicy soul of autumn. If lettuce is the calm, steady friend in your garden, mustard greens are the wild spirit, vibrant, daring, and full of flavor. They burst through the cool November soil like they have something to prove, their leaves glowing with life even when the air turns icy. Each bite carries that unmistakable peppery kick, a little fire that wakes up your senses and reminds you that even in winter, energy is alive. For gardeners who love a bit of adventure, who enjoy experimenting, taking chances, and bringing color to gray days, mustard greens are the perfect match. They grow fast, demand little, and reward you quickly. Within just a few weeks, you'll be harvesting tender baby leaves perfect for salads, stir-fries, or sautés. And here's the secret gift. Pests rarely bother them. Their bold flavor naturally keeps troublemakers away, leaving you with thriving, healthy plants and peace of mind. They're also beautifully versatile. Mix them with spinach for a balanced flavor, or let them shine solo as the star of your winter dish. Mustard greens don't just feed you, they challenge you to embrace boldness, both in your garden and in yourself. So if you're the kind of gardener who sees each seed as an opportunity for discovery, plant mustard greens this November. 9. Swiss chard, the artist of the garden. Swiss chard is what happens when strength meets beauty. In the soft gray light of November, its stems glow like painted glass, ruby, gold, and emerald streaks rising through the cool air. It's not just a plant, it's living art for your garden. And beyond its beauty, chard is one of the most forgiving crops you'll ever grow. Cold? It shrugs it off. Miss a watering? It bounces back. Frost on the leaves? It only seems to make the colors shine brighter. For those of you who garden not just for harvest, but for joy, chard is your muse. It's the plant that lifts your mood every time you step outside. That little spark of color that reminds you life is still vivid even when the world seems dull. And it's practical too. The leaves are tender and nutritious, perfect for soups, sautés, or simply steamed with olive oil and lemon. Chard fits beautifully in any space, a garden bed, a small pot, even a balcony box. You can harvest outer leaves again and again, and it keeps growing strong. It doesn't demand much, just a bit of sun and care. For gardeners who love expression through nature, Swiss chard is your creative companion. It's proof that beauty and resilience can live in the same leaf, and that color, even in November, can feed both the body and the soul. Tututren, mash, corn salad, the gentle survivor. Mash, often called corn salad or lamb's lettuce, is the quiet gem most gardeners overlook. A tender green that thrives where others hesitate. In November, when frost begins to paint the morning silver, mashi stretches its soft, spoon-shaped leaves with serene confidence. It doesn't rush, it doesn't complain. It simply grows, slow, steady, and graceful, like a whispered reminder that not all strength needs to shout. For those of you who find comfort in slow living, who see gardening as a peaceful ritual rather than a race, mashi feels like an old friend. It loves the cool air, prefers gentle moisture, and grows happily in shallow containers, raised beds, or tucked between other crops. Even in low light, it stays lush and vibrant, quietly defying the cold. And the taste, buttery, mild, almost nutty, brings a delicate elegance to winter salads. Just a handful of these greens can turn an ordinary meal into something that feels fresh and alive, even on the coldest day. Mash may be small, but it carries a powerful message. Gentleness is not weakness. It thrives in the chill without force or resistance, the way true balance does. So if your heart seeks calm in your garden this season, let mash be your teacher. Soft, steadfast, and beautifully unbothered by the cold. Part 3, the flavor keepers. Herbs that warm your winter. When the garden quiets down and most plants rest, herbs step forward like loyal companions, bringing warmth, scent, and life into the colder months. These are the flavor keepers, small but mighty plants that transform every meal and fill your space with freshness. Whether you grow them on a windowsill or in garden beds, these herbs remind us that comfort often comes from the simplest green leaves. 11. Cilantro, the fresh start herb. Cilantro is that burst of freshness your November garden didn't know it needed. While summer heat makes it bolt and fade, the cool calm of late autumn brings out its best self. Steady, fragrant, and rich in flavor. This is the season when cilantro truly thrives, growing low and lush. Its delicate leaves releasing that unmistakable citrusy aroma every time you brush past. For gardeners who love quick rewards with minimal effort, cilantro is pure joy. You can sow it directly in pots, raised beds, or even recycled containers near your kitchen door. Keep the soil slightly moist, and within a few short weeks, you'll have an endless source of fresh green to sprinkle over soups, curries, and salads. It's the kind of herb that connects your hands in the soil to your meals on the table. A small act of growing that nourishes both body and spirit. And if you let a few plants mature, they'll gift you coriander seeds, a fragrant spice for the next season's cooking. It's like two herbs in one, each phase offering something unique. Cilantro is for those who find joy in renewal, who see beauty in beginnings even as the year winds down. It's a reminder that freshness isn't tied to spring. It can bloom right in the heart of winter, in your garden, or even on your windowsill. 12. Parsley. The quiet overachiever. Parsley is the dependable friend every gardener needs. Modest, steady, and always there when you need it most. While flashier herbs come and go, parsley quietly thrives through the chill of November, offering fresh green life when most plants have retreated. It doesn't demand attention. It simply grows strong and graceful, a living symbol of persistence. For those of you who love long-lasting rewards, parsley is your best companion. Plant it once this month and it will keep producing through winter, greeting spring with new energy. Whether you grow it in a small pot on your balcony, a sunny kitchen window, or out in the garden, parsley adapts easily, as if it's happy just to be part of your space. Its deep, clean flavor brightens soups, stews, and sauces, turning even simple dishes into something special. Every time you snip a few leaves, you feel a quiet sense of gratitude, that something so humble can give so much. Parsley isn't here to impress, it's here to endure. It's for gardeners who appreciate consistency over drama, who find peace in the steady rhythm of growth. When the cold winds blow and most herbs fade away, parsley keeps going. Calm, faithful, and quietly proving that real strength often whispers instead of shouting. 13. Thyme, the soul of winter. Cooking thyme is the herb of endurance, a tiny plant with an ancient spirit. When the frost settles and most greens surrender, thyme stands its ground, its woody stems holding firm, its scent deepening with every cold breeze. There's something grounding about this herb, the way it fills the air with its earthy, warm fragrance, reminding you that comfort can be found in the simplest of things. For gardeners who see beauty in subtlety, thyme is a kindred soul. It grows low and tidy, fitting perfectly into pots, garden edges, or even between stepping stones. Once established, it asks for almost nothing. Just sunlight, a bit of drainage, and the occasional touch of care. And yet it gives endlessly. Flavor for your dishes, fragrance for your home, and quiet companionship through the winter months. I'll tell you a secret most gardeners learn by surprise. Even after being forgotten under snow, thyme returns stronger. It's a survivor, a small green defiance against the gray of winter. Brush your hand through it on a cold morning, and that soft, resinous scent instantly lifts your spirit. For those of you who find joy in resilience, thyme is more than an herb. It's a gentle teacher. It reminds us that life, like the garden, doesn't end with the frost. It merely rests, waiting for the warmth to return. 14. Chives, the comeback artist. Chives are the cheerful survivors of any garden, graceful, hardy, and endlessly generous. Once planted, they become a lifelong friend, returning each year with those slender green shoots that promise flavor and freshness. In November, while most herbs fade, chives stay quietly alive, waiting for your kitchen scissors to snip their gentle, onion-like leaves. For gardeners who love simplicity and reliability, chives are the perfect match. They need almost nothing: a little sun, well-drained soil, and a splash of water now and then. You can grow them anywhere, tucked into a corner of your garden, in a pot on your balcony, or even on a sunny windowsill. Within weeks, you'll have a constant supply of greens ready to brighten eggs, soups, or roasted vegetables. But there's more to chives than their taste. In spring, they surprise you with beautiful purple blooms, little bursts of color that attract bees and add joy to your space. And once established, they just keep giving year after year without complaint. For those of you who see gardening as a way to create harmony between effort and reward, chives are your reminder that nature loves consistency. They teach that even the smallest things, a handful of green leaves, can bring lasting happiness. 15. Rosemary, the evergreen memory keeper. Rosemary is the scent of warmth in the middle of winter, an evergreen reminder that life doesn't fade with the cold. Its needle-like leaves stay vibrant and aromatic even when frost coats the ground, releasing that unmistakable fragrance of calm and clarity every time you brush past. Growing rosemary in November is like inviting strength and serenity into your home. It thrives on resilience and rewards care with endless beauty. For those of you who love to blend gardening with mindfulness, rosemary is a perfect companion. It prefers sunlight and dry soil, making it ideal for windowsills, patios, or bright kitchen corners. Indoors, it fills your space with a soothing, woodsy aroma that feels like a quiet meditation each time you water it. Outdoors, it stands proud, a green flame against the pale backdrop of winter. Beyond its beauty, rosemary nourishes both body and soul. Add it to roasted vegetables, teas, or bread, and its flavor brings comfort to cold evenings. And symbolically, rosemary has long been tied to memory, a gentle reminder of moments, people, and seasons past. For every gardener who grows not just to harvest, but to feel connected, rosemary is a living emblem of endurance. It stands tall through the chill, whispering that even in the stillness of winter, life and love continues to grow. Or 4, nurturing through November. Simple ways to help your garden thrive. Now that you know what to plant, let's talk about how to keep your November garden happy and alive through the colder weeks ahead. This is where the real magic happens. Not in perfection, but in quiet care. Late autumn gardening isn't about grand gestures. It's about the little things you do with love. It's the way you gently cover your greens before a frost, or how you water them early in the morning, knowing that the soil will hold warmth for the night. As the air cools and days grow shorter, your plants slow down, but they don't stop. They're resting, gathering strength beneath the surface, preparing for the beautiful burst of spring that's already written into their roots. You can help them along with simple habits. Keep a few light covers nearby. Even an old bedsheet will protect delicate leaves from freezing nights. Water your garden in the early hours so the roots can soak up moisture before temperatures drop. And don't underestimate mulch. It's nature's blanket, keeping the soil warm and steady. For those of you growing in small spaces, containers are your secret weapon. They warm up faster than garden beds, and you can move them around to catch the light or shelter them from cold winds. If you're caring for plants indoors, rotate them now and then to give every leaf its share of sunlight. Remember, November gardening is less about speed and more about mindfulness. Every small act, a touch, a glance, a moment spent checking the soil, keeps your garden alive. It's a dance between rest and renewal, one that mirrors our own rhythm as the year winds down. Nurture your plants with patience, and they'll thank you by greeting spring stronger than ever. Growth in stillness. As November settles in, your garden begins to whisper instead of sing. The rush of summer fades, but something deeper takes its place. A quiet rhythm, a slower kind of beauty. Every seed you planted this month holds a promise, sleeping softly beneath the soil, waiting for the gentle call of spring. You've turned cold mornings into moments of creation, and even the smallest patch of green has become a reflection of your care and patience. This is what gardening in the colder season is truly about. Faith. Faith that life continues beneath the frost, that every root is gathering strength unseen. You don't need to see the growth to know it's happening. You can feel it. The earth is resting but never idle, just like you, preparing, dreaming, growing quietly in your own way. So, as you sip your tea and look over your garden, whether it's a few pots on your balcony or a full backyard sanctuary, take a moment to feel proud. You didn't stop when the world said pause. You chose to grow anyway. Now I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite crop to plant in the chill of November? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments. Your words inspire this community more than you know. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Earthly Delights for more soulful gardening stories, tips, and inspiration all year round. Here we grow not just plants, but peace, purpose, and a little bit of wonder.